young Leia to be a big part of the Kenobi series. Boy, didn't see that coming. Well, if you didn't, then you haven't been paying attention. Yeah. Well, anyway, here we are at Bounding Into Comics with this story about young Leia will be impetus for the entire Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Good Lord, but it's called Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well, the rumor comes from Jordan Mason at Cinelinks. Never heard of it, but Bounding Into Comics has, so there you go. He says, I can tell you Leia is part of Kenobi in a big way. In fact, from what I've heard, the stuff dealing with Leia is pretty much the impetus for the whole show and what gets Obi-Wan, otherwise known as Ben, into another adventure. So, we go all the way down here, and remember, the show takes place 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith, where Kenobi faced his greatest defeat to the downfall and corruption of his best friend and Jedi apprentice, Anakin Skywalker turned evil Sith Lord, don't mix up those letters, Darth Vader. And so there you go. Oh, it'll be directed by Deborah Chow. Well, all right. Well, how many adventure action series has she dealt with? That's important. If none, oh boy. And I don't know who Joby Harold is. So anyway, there we are. This is the girl that apparently has been cast in the role. Says, it's all rumor. How do you know? Well, to give credence to it, they did put out a casting call for 2 children. A young boy, 8 to 11, precocious, with blue eyes and white. Oh boy. And then the girl, same age and same descriptions and everything. So, it sounds like they're casting twins or something. Oh, yeah, they are. So there'll be a young Luke, but he won't be all that important, apparently. Leia will be. So I'm guessing this is the girl. It says she was in, the Bird Box. I didn't watch that. So anyway, and the Waco TV miniseries. Didn't see that either. So anyway, that's apparently who will be young Leia. Well, the thing is it seems like it would concern Luke more than that, because that was what Obi-Wan said he would do. He was sent, he takes Luke to Tatooine, and Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru raise him, but he watches over from afar and all that. And you could think of any kind of scraps or adventures that could happen, something that might reveal who Luke is or something like that, and Obi-Wan's got to rush in and prevent all that from happening. Stuff like that. As far as Darth Vader and everything, to have them meet, I think Kennedy said it's going to be the rematch you've been waiting for, or some crap like that. It's like, well, that's not really the story, is it? So one idea is that he's going to be tormented by visions of Darth Vader because, his great failure and all that. And that might be it. Or there could be some, near misses, like Obi-Wan's hiding and Darth Vader's walking down the wrong way and doesn't meet him, even though, they're force sensitive and all that. But, that would be what happens and that sort of thing. But as far as getting him off Tatooine, there might be a story like that. So perhaps some communication between him and Senator Organa, and something's up, and this involves Leia, and it wasn't part of the plan, but he ends up having to do that, but then that would leave Luke exposed to possible danger and all this sort of stuff. So, but it's just like, we got to have Leia in there. Well, then why not spin off a series about Senator Organa, He's the guy who's he's the one laying the groundwork for the rebellion, and you could have this pretty good character study of him, as he was originally this pacifist guy. He was against forming the clone army and all that sort of stuff, and it all unfolded. And for the short run, it seemed like the right thing to do, and in the long term, yeah, Patriot Act, it'll be great. Oh, now it's used against its own citizen. So there it is. But yet he's forced into this position where he's got to form a fighting force and stuff like that, and meeting up with Mon Mothma and all that type of stuff. And then Leia is this character that is there, and it's breaking his heart that she's she's jumping in. She's learning how to fight. She's learning weapons and all this type of stuff. And he's having to basically run guns and stuff like that. It's not the sort of life that he wanted. But there would be that conflict, and also this, like, his heart's breaking that Leia is going to be thrust into this, and he's trying to protect her, but ultimately he's got to let her go. And also with the knowledge, you could even have some communication between him and Obi-Wan about her destiny cannot be denied, you know, and the Force is strong within her and all that type of stuff. And that would be an interesting handoff between two series. Because, I mean, the Obi-Wan series, apparently it's only going to be 4 episodes because it was originally supposed to be a movie. And it should concern him in an adventure trying to protect young Luke. That, I think, is a possible cool story concerning Obi-Wan and Uncle Owen. Uncle Owen in New Hope is no fan of Obi-Wan. So what happened? You know, well, the obvious fears about what this could mean, he's grown to love Luke as his own. He doesn't want him going off into adventures and wars and Jedi. And he would ultimately make the argument, well, you failed with Anakin here. What makes you think you're going to do any better with Luke? And leave him alone, let him live his life. And, you know, I just don't think your ideas are going to work and all that. But I would think that there would be something that would drive that home more than just those sentiments, and that there is some danger. Obi-Wan ultimately prevails. He saves Luke and protects him and all that sort of stuff. And you could have Owen involved in all of this. But at the end of it, Owen is just horrified about what's happened. And he says, stay away. I don't want Luke involved in any of this. And mind your own business. So Obi-Wan's like, well, I got to respect his wishes, you know, so he stays in the background. But of course, if they were to do a follow-up, that young Luke does visit him secretly and this sort of thing. But beyond that, because it's obviously Luke does know him, you know, he's met him, you know, from time to time and all of that. But at some point, something blows up, you know, between Owen and Obi-Wan. And I think that would make for a more interesting story concerning Kenobi. And as for Leia, I think that Leia and her father would make for it. Now, probably have to push it further in the future where Leia's a bit older. You know, maybe you could start out with scenes with this girl, but when she's more of a teenager and that sort of thing, and it's getting close to New Hope and the torment that Bala Lugosi goes through would be an interesting plot line for a series. But no, they're thinking about using the Mandalorian template, so I'm guessing he's going to be protecting a magical girl who's the source of everything. And so she's Baby Yoda. And that's basically all it'll be. That would be the worry. But, well, we'll see. But there are possibilities for the stories. Like, well, what can happen? He's just hiding out in Tatooine and waiting 20 years before Luke's old enough to go fight the war. But no, there's stories you could do for a miniseries and all of that. But I don't know. It might not be so all of a sudden Leia's the point. Well, he's not watching over Leia. He's watching over Luke. That's the setup. So, but they don't care about the practicalities of the story as it is. They just care about, you know, woke virtue signaling or you know, tokenizing of people. So anyway, hopefully better things are afoot, but we'll have to wait and see, of course. But so I'm not entirely certain how this would happen. Unless there is, yes, this for some reason, perhaps Owen and Luke go on a trip together and Obi-Wan follows behind, and so they leave the planet, and this leads into him running into Leia. Maybe that's something they'll do. But the idea that she's a core element of the show, it sounds like they're going back to their template from Mandalorian, because I haven't watched the Bad Batch, but a lot of people are saying that's the case with Bad Batch and what was the character, Omega, a special girl, and so that's it seems they're just going back to that drawing board over and over again, which is stupid in and of itself. Hopefully not. Hopefully there's enough here that's different, and they're hopefully they do go into some of the possibilities I thought would be cool. But odds are they probably won't. Oh, well. Anyway, best of luck, Kenobi. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.